G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the south side of the map, in the colour red, playing as the Ottomans, we've got Sass. And his opponent in the north of the map, in the colour yellow, playing as the Chinese representing Team Liquid, we've got Demu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here watching two of the best players in the world. Well, I say two of the best players in the world. We got Demu, who's obviously top 10. Incredibly talented, consistently good player of Age of Empires 4. And his opponent, Sass, who's currently sitting about 1700, 1800 rating, which is obviously pretty damn good. Conqueror 3++. But comparing him up against Demu, I tell you what, he's going to have a big task ahead of him. But if there's a civilization that can do it, a civilization that is currently stronger than all others, it's got to be the Ottomans. It's got to be the... I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I tell you what, I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but you open up the video, okay? Check the comments. I guarantee you there's going to be like 8 comments from the same folks, and they always just spam this thing about Ottomans being weak in the late game and that the Janissaries are underpowered and that Great Bombards are useless, okay? And sure, they might have some credit. I don't think this is necessarily the place to do it, but we're going to highlight it today. We're going to take a look at an Ottoman game here, where I'm confident Sass is going to be able to pull out the goods today. And if not, surely we can blame it on the balance of the Ottomans. But I do think it's quite interesting, though. I mean, you know, I mentioned it in another video that there was this one guy who always posted on every single video about how the Ottomans were terrible. But now it seems to be a bit of a running meme. I've noticed that there's like 7 people, 8 people. So I'm encouraging you as a commenter, if you've got the energy, come up with your most creative critique of why the Ottomans are terrible. For me personally, I think the Ottomans are terrible because they I don't know. I was trying to come up with something funny, but I'm not a comedian. I'm a caster, and that's why I'm here to cast this game for you. So the best I can do for you is that, you know, they don't start with enough villagers. Let's get that ball rolling. But you got to be more creative than that. Come on. I'm sure we can bring some memes out, but nice little spot that we've got over here for Demu underneath the TC. Very safe, very close to pick up the gold, the tax from the Imperial official. So he's going to be loving life underneath this town. So now let's check in with the sheep and see how he's doing. He's obviously picked up quite a few already behind the backside. And meanwhile, Sass running a little bit naked out here. Not a whole lot going on back here for him, unfortunately. Now, if you are enjoying this Age of Empires 4 content, I do encourage you, leave a like down on the video. It really does help the traction of the video. But let's talk a little bit about Sass. Now, obviously, Sass has opened up with a military school. Going for that early military school makes a lot of sense in this matchup against the Chinese, because often the Chinese will be looking to get down a Barbican relatively early. Normally, they'll go for a little bit of greed. So sometimes you see a Barbican, say, you know, over here on the stone and the berries, which is nice. It's covered by the TC. And sometimes you see them go for something a little bit more greedy out here. And if you go for that military school, they're not going to be able to go for that greedy play. And as a result, they'll have to kind of stick it back at home, which isn't optimal for them, depending on what type of play style they're going for. But I've known Demu for quite a while as a pretty solid Chinese player, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that Barbican does come down here, just on the berries, on the stone. It's a great little spot here. Also somewhat covers his gold up to the north, and I guess technically also covers this wood line as well. But the first spearman has made his way out. That Barbican will also deny this spear from being able to siege freely. So we'll have to wait and see what he looks to do. And you can see that he is heading towards that Song dynasty. 3 villages now on the wood. I'm loving his build. I remember it took quite a while for Demu to actually adapt to the new Chinese meta that we've seen sort of being trending over the last 6 to 12 months. But he's picking it up now, and he's doing pretty solid with it. So I'm curious to see what type of play he looks to go for. One of the things that's become quite popular is Fast Imperial, Chinese Fast Imperial, getting ridiculously good at the moment, just as long as you can get up on an even footing against your opponent and get in those quick upgrades. Back home, we do see the Twin Minaret Madrasa on the way for Sass, and the age up comes through now for Demu. So aging up a little bit after 4 minutes and 15 seconds, not a bad little timing here. Expect to see that Barbican coming up shortly as well. Down over on the other side for Sass, though, Twin Minaret Madrasa, not too long to go, probably looking for about a 4-minute 40 timer. I'm curious what type of play he goes into here and what kind of reaction we can expect to see from him. There's a couple of different strategies. Obviously, fast castles, a pretty decent one, especially in this matchup, as long as you can get to knights nice and early. Then oof, I didn't mean to click like that. As long as you can get to knights, you're going to be feeling pretty good. But we do now see the Twin Minaret Madrasa coming up, and he immediately begins to research wheelbarrow. At the same time, It looks like we've got Demu, who is going to be rushing up that Barbican, but not in the spot that we thought he would go for. So I thought he'd go for this little spot right here up adjacent to the berries, as well as to the stone mine. But I guess one thing to note is if you do that, you can see right there, your corner is probably going to be somewhere around here, which means that your town center won't actually be able to cover it. So if his opponent did try and deny that, they would be able to do it quite successfully. So very well read there by Demu, just to go for the safe Barbican here. Underneath the TC, it never feels good to be doing it, but at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. So, Song Dynasty comes through now for Demu, brings back a couple more sheep, and he is very happy at this point. Going to be looking for that second TC as well, as you would suspect most Chinese players to do. The double TC Song Dynasty, 2 TC Song, one of the best strategies that you can get away with as the Chinese. And in a matchup like this is one of my favorite matchups to do it, because one of the things to note about the Ottomans is they ramp up. They don't come out of the gates firing. It takes a little bit of time with them because they need to invest in things. They need to invest in their blacksmith. They need to invest in their military schools. And once their military schools start trickling, then you're going to, slowly have that build up. But it takes a while for that trickle to begin. And depending on how many military schools you want to go for, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, it's going to delay that even more. And compare that to a civilization that comes out of the box really quickly if they want to go for any kind of feudal aggression. Let's say the French as an example. 1 TC French, knights, followed up with archers, followed up with battering rams. That's a lot different. So it means that if you do go for that second TC, you are going to have a harder time against the French, whereas against the Ottomans, it's absolutely fine. So I'm loving it so far. And we do actually see he's going to open here with just a quick archery range. Not going to be looking to supervise it out. And beautiful positioning here as well, up the back. I think he's put it in the perfect spot. I can't obviously see it, unfortunately. But he should have enough space here to put one more at the corner. There should be a single pixel here where he can put it down, or a single tile where he can put it down. And looking to try and get it, isn't going to be able to find it. Did you just see that? That villager just got sieged in the face with a couple torches. I thought they fixed that bug, but I guess not. Poor little guy. Look how much damage he took as well. So you can see right there, he took, what is that, 36 damage? No, 26 damage. So what is it, 13 torch damage? Yeah, 13 torch damage. There you go. But second TC going to be coming up towards this top side. Probably going to be... Oh, never mind. He's moving the villagers back over here. Where are we going? Villagers now coming down towards the bottom. And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we have some walls going up. Now, this to me says one of two things. Number one, I'm trading. And number two, I'm trading. So that's what these walls mean. So it's kind of a giveaway at this point in time that SAS is trading. But I do like this, and I think this is a pretty smart play from SAS, especially going up against the 2 TC of the Chinese. The main question is going to be, is he going to be able to defend this trade against 2 TC Chinese? Because the main threat that you're going to have here is 2 TC fast castle, or 2 TC Song Dynasty into a fast castle, into a whole bunch of palace guards. And, it's going to be 5 palace guards down here, 5 palace guards up here, 5 palace guards over here, 23 palace guards forcing, at your main natural. It's not going to be pretty for you. And are you going to be able to respond to that? Now, the correct response will be a mix of military schools, knights, and crossbows. Whether he's going to be able to find it, though, that's going to be the question. But we'll have to look to see how he plays with SAS. Now looking like he wants to do the same thing and head towards that castle age. Well, right on board with Demu though. He's only made the 2 Jukunu so far, so I'd expect that he looks to go into castle age relatively quickly here. With only 3 villagers on gold, though, it's not a huge amount. Does have 3 imperial officials out for the moment. Technically, no, he does still have 3. And does put this second TC over on the hunt, over on the west side here. There's a lot of food out here as well. Take a look at this. Food down here, food over here. You got food absolutely everywhere. So Demu's set for quite a while. We do hear the wolf is coming in, but unfortunately you can't eat that bad boy. I mean, you could probably try. I don't know, what does wolf taste like? Why don't people eat wolf? You never hear wolf talked about as a delicacy. You eat shark. Well, I mean, I don't eat shark, but there are cultures that eat shark. I've never heard of wolf. It's probably like the Norwegians. The Norwegians have got like, oh, I'm just gonna have some wolf soup. I wouldn't put it past you Norwegians. I know what you guys are like. Don't at me, bro. But anyway, look, let's focus a little bit more on the game, a little bit less on the wolves. We'll switch it over to the income per minute at the moment, just to get an idea of where they're at. And you can see the Demu starting to increase the amount of villagers that he's got on gold. So he's going to be heading towards that castle age. And I think SAS is going to be doing the same thing. So pretty standard opening here, very passive. And villagers moving out towards the boar, it looks like. He's got 9 villagers here, just in case he does lose one. Everyone's got their spears out as well. He's going to be careful in this position. He does manage to pull it back quite a bit. I am loving this as long as he gets it right about here. Otherwise, it's going to reset. You've got to be super careful. At the same time, we do have some Sipahi coming in. Might need to pull the villagers back here. We'll probably be losing at least one of them. Indeed, the boar takes it out. Manages to take out the boar, though. The last hit didn't go to the Ottoman player. Had the last hit gone to the Ottoman player, that would have been terrible because it would have meant that that boar has 0 food in it rather than 2,000. But have we got survival techniques in just yet? Let's take a look at demo. Indeed, we do. We've got all of our armor, all of our farming upgrades, all of our food upgrades. And it looks like Demo might need to move into even just a couple of spears here. He's up to 6 Yukonu, but this is a little bit troublesome for him. I mean, he can stay under the TC for a little bit longer. TC will provide pretty decent covering fire, but that +1 ranged armor's already through. Age up should be coming through soon as well. As long as he's got these Imperial officials, as the 4th one comes out, gathering up that gold, he's going to be absolutely fine. Keep in mind, he does also have Imperial examinations, which means that instead of picking up 40 gold, he's picking up 80 gold. And that's really good for efficiency, because when it comes to the AI that is used in Imperial officials, it's absolutely terrible. And that's one of the ways that you can bypass that terrible AI is by making them collect more. So we do now see those spears continuing to push back the boars. Demo about to click up here. He can move back to the berries, which I would be looking for, but instead he is going to move into some units just for the moment. I suspect supervising out some spears over here. Yeah, there we go. So we've got 2 barracks being supervised, and that's going to buy Sass a little bit of time here as well. A nice little window for him to go castle age, which he should be doing. He's got the double market out at this point. Not bad trade here as well. Like, this is full length of the map, and you're only getting 53 gold. It's not the best feels. But Demo, once again, going to be able to defend this position. Plenty of spears here. Look at the beautiful surround coming through Demo from the top, from the bottom. Absolutely everywhere. Should be able to get some decent hits here. But we do see now the meta is out. You've got that extra +1 ranged armor, which means you've got 4 ranged armor up against the 4 damage of the Yukonu. So these guys are going to be taking quite literally 1 damage a shot, which, well, it's not very much. It's not very much. These guys are going to be living for quite some time. But the spears are going to do well against them. Now, we've also got this wall that has come up, which means that there's not going to be any chance of a run through. MIA gets dropped down over on that west side of the map, also within the range of the blacksmith, which is really important. Some people do forget to do that. We watched a game, was it Wham? I think it was Wham, you know, someone who's rated 2.1k, one of the best players in the world, and he didn't have it in... I don't want to be blaming Wham, but or not blaming Wham, but I don't want to be, you know, putting... What's the word? Attributing something to Wham, but I'm pretty sure it was him. Where, yeah, this just didn't happen. This is really important to do. It gives you a bonus of 30% extra production. It means instead of 3 minutes, your mangonel comes out in 2 minutes, which is really nice. Age up on the other side, though. Looks like Demu's going to be going for that clock tower. No real surprise there. Expect to see a lot of palace guards beginning to come out. Demu loves that style. He's also been playing into spears in the castle age. Quite a few people have recently been doing this. We've seen it coming out from Marine Lord as well. He's been going heavy on that style. But not a whole lot of units out so far from him. Just starting to begin that build up. And there it is, one of the most beautiful landmarks. Honestly, when you get this built all by itself and the gardens come through, is that not just one of the best landmarks that there are? Like, just look at that right there. That is gorgeous stuff. You gotta love it. You gotta absolutely love it. All right, well, on the other side of the map, the age up has also come through over for Sass. So Sass gonna be looking solid, looking good, looking pretty. And those trader numbers are starting to build. At the moment, 18 traders total. A little bit behind on his opponent. And to be honest, if you had to give the advantage to someone at this point, you'd probably give it... I tell you what, you'd probably give it to Sass, to be honest. I do like his position that he's got. The main thing here for Sass is I think he really needs to try and get out onto the map, look to contest relics. That's going to be important. And most importantly, just look to get a couple of crossbows in each corner. So maybe 5 to 6 crossbows, 5 up here, 5 down here. And then that way you can guarantee that your flanks are going to be covered because there are going to be inevitable raids from those palace guards. And I do like this play coming through now from Sass. This is a great way to distract Demo at this point, because it means that either Demo's got to look for a re-wall on the backside, or he's going to have to bring units out here. And the sooner he brings units out here, if he brings units out here, means those units aren't going to be in your base. He does have plenty of villagers in the middle of the map, and we see now a knight going to be caught out of position here. Just gets obliterated by the spears. Yukonu have got their veterancy out now. We can see that those numbers are starting to build, and hopefully there's going to be a response out for Demu. He's got a 14 villager lead at the moment, 15 now. Let's see if it can stick. The nest of bees could have been picked off there, and spears towards the front. He's not even going to look towards the flanks. He just says, you know what, we're just going to go straight down the middle. We're going to do it the old-fashioned way, as we've now got an additional vizier point coming through. I'm expecting probably he'll look to go into... Oh, he's got a lot of options that he can go for, but I suspect military academy or military campus for that extra military school. But we do now see he's got 3 military schools at the moment. That'll be the fourth, or sorry, he's got 2. That'll be the third one. So fourth one still yet to be planted down. Manages to pick up a couple units on this backside. Not even going to be looking for any palace guards on this push. He's just going to be sticking it out with spears together with the Zhukanur. Just a handful of palace guards in there, 2 or 3. Spears now managing to make it through onto that back trade line. And you can see a little bit of a mistake coming through from SAS. Just not enough unit production, it seems. Not really stacking up the resources, just didn't have the numbers back home. There's the military schools now coming down, throwing down that production in a bit of a emergency. But now beginning to chase his opponent across the trade route. You know, we talked about the fact that Demu could come in from one side or come in from the other and look to put on pressure with Palace Guards, but we completely ignored the fact he could just come straight up the middle here. And that's exactly what he's done with great success. And now we can see beautiful control coming through from SAS here. We'll be able to clean up these Zhukanur as long as these spears aren't too much trouble. A couple of them get skewers off. They're going to look to try and focus down the Zhukanur, which is the most important thing here. Meta also going to be getting focused down, but the numbers here looking decent from SAS, and now he's finding his stride. This is really important for SAS at this point. He needs to focus 100% on military production. Of course, he can still keep traders coming. That's an important part of it. Still keep making villages. You don't want to go castle, though. That's really important, and you don't want to be leaking enemy units into your base. The most important thing he can do right now is just put the pedal to the metal and just don't stop making units. It doesn't matter what it is. Just make units, whether it's Janissaries, whether it's Mangonels, just get them out on the map. Force the enemy into fight you, because the problem that you're going to have is if Demu puts down a single keep, it means that you're going to be stalled out until you've got Trebs or battering rams, and that's going to buy him enough time to get Imperial. And if he gets Imperial, you're in for a tough time in this matchup. Let's take a look and see how Demu's doing on that other side of the map. The numbers starting to build up for him. Once again, the nest of bees rolling out off the blocks. Beautiful farming economy for Demu back here as well. You can see he's started to collect relics. Currently sitting on 1 relic himself with 2 in the bag. Or rather, 2 on the way in. 1 for his opponent, SAS. Which means that there's 1 left on the map. Looks like it will be picked up by SAS here. And now towards that center. Large number of units making their way down towards the base of SAS. Upgrades coming through for both of these players as well. Fertilization, an important upgrade as the farm transition begins. SAS behind about 18 economic units at the moment, but he does have that trade. And one thing that people often forget about with trade is that it is infinite gold. You're not cutting away at those gold mines that are so important. It means that you can save them for later, or maybe you don't even need them. And you can see that the villagers actually got taken out before the palisade gate could be... Actually, no, never mind. Why did he delete this wall then? Was he just trying to get a little bit of a flank? Speaking of flank, now looking to try and come in over from that east side. Beautiful control. Look at Demu. Wonderful job with the spears in the pockets. Not going to be caught out of position here. Those nest of bees just going to be able to deal with this perfectly. And where is the siege from SAS at this point? You cannot take out these nest of bees. You cannot fight against these nest of bees without siege of yourself. The spears just do such a great job of covering them, especially when you've got control as good as Demu. Next vizier point comes through. There's the Mangonel rolling out off the line. I'd love to see a siege workshop thrown down from SAS at this point. You've got to understand that the nest of bees have reached a critical point. You can't contest them with your cavalry. Otherwise, you'll just simply lose them to the spears. You need to be going for your Springles. The problem that you're going to have is that the delay in those Springles coming out onto the field means that now Demu's got an opportunity. Throw down a keep, go Imperial. Oh, no, it's the... Whoa, did you guys see that? Yeah, there it is, there it is. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to put UFOs on the title once again. You guys have seen it before. But, look. We spotted it. We caught you in 4K. Yeah, look at that. They said the technology wasn't there, my friends. This is what is known as a... well, they've actually got a term for this. This is it's like a reverse engineered... it's like a human manufactured... ARV, that's the one. ARV, reproduction vehicle. Something reproduction vehicle. I can't remember the exact term. They've got it, though. But Janissaries are out. I saw some Janissaries. I saw some gunshots coming off. Only 3 of them so far. He's going to start to stack up gold now. That's another thing to note. as this game gets longer on, and SAS continues to make traders. Keep making traders, SAS. Don't stop making traders. We never stop making traders. Even when we get to 100 traders, we don't stop making traders. We'll just keep making them. We'll delete the other ones, but we'll just keep making... Anyway, you guys get the point. He's going to have a lot of gold. He's already sitting on, 1,300 gold income. It was sitting about 2k before. Look at this demo. He's ready. He's clear to go Imperial at this point. Where's the keep, though? There's the keep. There's always a keep. You got to remember that. It's number one rule with China. Before you go Imperial, you must make a keep. If you don't make a keep, you do risk death. Because, imagine you go Imperial and you're like, yeah, I'm Imperial. And then the enemy army rolls up and you cry. So Spirit Way going to be going down here for demo, which to me indicates that he could be looking to head into some of those unique Chinese units. Maybe the Zhugunu. Maybe, perhaps even the Fire Lancer. Could be an option for him here. Of course, in the late game, Fire Lance is incredibly good when they're paired up with Palace Guards. And let's take a look and see what Demu goes for with regard to his upgrades. Now that he's gone Imperial, that allows him to look at upgrades. And we see that he's going to be going for a second keep over on this east side. He's already picked up one over on the west as well. So technically a third keep. Get off my screen, neutralize the sacred site. And in the middle of the map, we got ourselves a bit of a fight. Triple Springald coming out. So SAS has heeded my call, but my only fear is that it might be too little too late. Springald control is decent, but the Nest of Bees will be able to fire them down, and you can see huge damage coming out from them. If you're not microing them against the Nest of Bees, you will have a tough time, and you could just see him obliterating all of the Springalds there. Nest of Bees destroying their counters if you do not micro them. That's one of the things to note. If you do not micro the Nest of Bees, or the Springalds, they will lose to the Nest of Bees in mass. In the middle of the map, though, a little bit of a raid attempt coming in now from SAS. He's down 20 villages. He's looking to try and even up that villager count a little bit. As the Sacred Site victory begins to trigger. 9 minutes to go. SAS says, no, sorry, Bob, it is not happening. And now I can feel it. SAS is kicked into gear. The problem is his opponent has got Imperial, and not only that, he's also going into Yuan Dynasty. For anybody who doesn't know, Yuan Dynasty unlocks the Fire Lancer, one of the most powerful Imperial Age units that there are. And Demu throws down another keep. I love this playstyle from Demu. Just so safe. Nothing is going to be hurting him. He's got keeps up all over this map. This is not fun to deal with. And especially considering the Chinese keeps are so much better than what they used to be. The devs thought they were nerfing the Chinese. You were not, my friends. You were buffing them. But a couple of Lancers do manage to make it through. Spears as well as hand cannoneers do make it to the back. Has he looked at pyrotechnics just yet? Let's take a look. The unique upgrade, not yet. The unique upgrade for the Chinese, which increases the range of their hand cannoneers ever so slightly. I mean, they go from 4 to 5.5 tiles of range, which is pretty... No, it's not so slight. But the number's looking good for SAS. And this is where the iron is hot. He needs to strike right now. The problem is, does he have the siege? That's going to be the big question here. He needs to have the siege. Ideally, that last fight, he should have finished with all of his Springalds intact. He should have finished with all of his Mangonels alive. The problem is he's had to head back to square one. And that puts him in a bit of an awkward spot here. Looks like the Fire Lancer, the first of the Fire Lancers, is out on the field. And now, down towards that south, we can see the trickle of units coming in. Let's check in with the traders and see how he's doing. Still only 31 traders, not making any more traders. I'd say this is a mistake from SAS, honestly. If you ever think that you've made too many traders, you haven't. Traders, just keep making traders. Okay, you can do so much with gold. Upgrades, age up, gold-heavy units. And the Ottomans have no shortage of gold-heavy units. One of the best units in the game for your excess gold, the Janissary. 100 gold for this bad boy right here. A lot of people look at that and think, what the hell? Who's paying that much gold for a unit like that? But they don't understand the power of trade. So I would just be advocating at this point, SAS, get those Janissaries going out. Now we can see that battering ram. Gonna begin taking some fire in the middle of the map. There are villagers here, which will look to try and siege this down, or torch it down, I should say. There we go. The torch is now coming out. And Demo going to be happy with this little defense. Look how much damage the archers and crossbows take. Look how quickly they get turned into mincemeat back here by the keep. A little bit of a repair in as well. Absolutely great stuff. And look at the control that Demo's got here. Controls the sacred site and the gold vein. Really smart use. A little bit of a raid back on that north side. Once again, trying to even up that villager count. He's managed to take out about 10 villagers. SAS now within 15 of his opponent. Military numbers looking good for him. He's down in age, but he's up when it comes to those numbers. Being chased away. Looking to try and find any kind of villagers. Continuing to siege at the town center. Remember, at this point, Demo's pretty much at maximum pop when it comes for villagers. Ideally, you want to be up at around like 130, and you don't really go above that. at this point in the game as the Chinese. You can go higher than that, but you don't really need to. It's going to be your economy is going to be so good that you'll be trading out non-stop. So numbers really starting to build up for SAS. This is good. This is good stuff. Let's take a look at how Demu's doing though, because those Fire Lancer numbers are starting to build. And when you see Fire Lancers like this, you need to start thinking about stone walls. And that's exactly what he does. This is the correct play coming out from SAS. It's going to take some time for him to get these stone walls up, but once they are up, it guarantees the integrity of the trade route, guarantees the integrity of the base. You can see he's got quite a couple of layers here, beginning to build that onion defense, stonewalling up through the middle as well. Takes out that keep on the central sacred site, and SAS looking for a potential Ottoman victory. If you're an Ottoman fan, let me see it in the YouTube comments. Tell me. I know that you're there. I know that you're there. I want to see it. I want to hear it. I want all you Ottoman fans, you guys that are always complaining about Ottoman not being strong enough, please let me know right now that this is the game. The Ottomans will win. And look, I got to be honest, SAS is looking pretty good in this position. He's down in age. If you looked at the score, you probably wouldn't be that happy with SAS's position, but you got to remember, score ain't everything. Not when you've got ARVs. Look at this. We have got an ARV out. This is produced by us here on Earth using alien technology or non-human technology. Look at that right there. Oh, get some of that in ya. Look at it. No wheels, doesn't touch the ground, just floating along. There was a couple military guys that reported seeing one of these, I think. We got to double check with them. Is this what you saw, sir? Did you see this? Yes, that's exactly it. Oh god, that's also what I saw. Huge raids now on the bottom side of the map. Fire Lancers have made it through. The stone walls did not come up quick enough. The reaction time from SAS was good, but the reaction wasn't thick enough. It wasn't girthy enough. It didn't have enough oomph on it. He was going for big stone walls, but realistically, he just needed to pull more vills. That was the reality. You knew your enemy had that massive Fire Lancers. You'd seen it. They were chasing around all of your knights up in the north side of the base. And now that your doors have been opened, you've only got a small amount of time to react to this. Looks like still, for the moment, cleaning up traders. Down to 28 traders. He's only lost a couple. Not a huge amount. Lancers. Oh my god, look at the Fire Lancers, though. So many Fire Lancers out here. Bombard getting caught in the mix. He thinks he's one of them. You know, when you've got that... Have you guys seen this video? It's like the dog thinks he's a sheep. Or is it the sheep thinks he's a dog? It's one of the two. Anyway, the Bombard thinks he's a Fire Lancer. We've all been there before. Oh, this is painful. Oh, this is so painful. Now all of your trade's going to be stopped. It's guaranteed to go down. This is so painful to lose a market like this. And now you got to send villagers out here to build that market. And the entire time your traders are just kind of twiddling their thumbs, going, well, I don't know about this, John. Looking to throw down a couple more markets. This one here, not the right one. These ones. These are your ones. You can just get away with the one at the moment. So, Janissaries. He started to mix in quite a few at this point. Up to 19 Janissaries now, SAS. Both of these guys pretty close to the population limit, sitting at 186, 191 respectively for them. Battering ram numbers are pretty good here as well from SAS. He's up to 8, which is wonderful. If ever you need to look to siege. He's beginning to take sacred sites as well, but at the same time being neutralized by his opponent. All the upgrades have come through for these Fire Lancers. So we're talking full upgrades here. He's got biology, which gives them a little bit of extra health. +3 ranged armor, +3 ranged attack. Yet to get that melee armor, but not that important when you think about it. If you're copping like 40 damage from a spearman, an extra 1 armor ain't gonna really save you. Nice little raid there on the stone. Cleans up the wolf as well. Now, one of the keys here that Demu is going to be looking for is this stone wall. Why is this stone wall important? This stone wall is important because it protects his bombard. Because there inevitably will be a bombard that shows up down here. There it is. And when it comes out, it's going to be sitting behind this stone wall, and it's going to be untouchable. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I don't like this at all. We've got ourselves some Fire Lancers in the middle of the map. Full wall has now come up from SAS. Everything is up. And now the Ottoman attack begins. 194 population. Slightly less than Demu. The economies, relatively even at the moment. I mean, we can count these two and just see how close they are. Remember that the trade for the Ottomans are difficult to calculate. So that's looking like 3, 4K, 4.5K. Compared to Demu, who's sitting on 3.5K, 4.5K, 5K, 5.3K. So pretty close. And the age up now going to be coming through. Looks like all of the siege will get caught at the back. The Janissaries here going to be unable to clean it up, but we can see that Janissaries here. Keep in mind the Janissaries actually don't get countered by these Fire Lancers. The Fire Lancers, they do damage, a big AoE, but once they've done that, that's pretty much it. They don't get any other bonus damage. So as long as you keep making Janissaries here, SAS, you're going to be absolutely fine. So that's what I'm going to advocate for, the Seagate Castle coming down. I'm loving this so far. Hopefully we see another keep come down on this south side as well, just to power up all of these traders the whole way through, because traders fallen off a little bit. And you can see, don't you dare trade to this landmark or this market right here. You got to be going all the distance, please, Sass. So manages to clean up the keep, maintains the integrity of his stone walls for the moment. But where is that bombard? We know that there is a bombard somewhere out on this map. Stonewall lost a little bit of health here. I don't see the bombard. There's the bombard. A single bombard. We'll be able to crack this open. In the event that it happens, he needs to re-wall the stone wall immediately. That's really key here. And now we see an upgrade coming in. The Great Bombard Emplacement. Honestly, one of the most expensive emplacements. I probably would not advocate. No, I would not advocate for this. Don't get me wrong. It's good, but it's so expensive. And realistically, like, what's this going to do? At the end of the day, your enemy can't get through this stone wall. Huge attack now. Coming in onto Sass's villagers. Sass not paying attention. Sass, you got to wake up, Sass. What you doing, Sass? There we go. Villagers. Now, no, never mind. They are still asleep on the job. Well, I mean, they're not really asleep on the job. They're just mining on the job, which it was their job, but they're dying on the job. Janissary numbers now going to start to increase. We can see that he's picked up Janissary gun damage, elite Janissaries, elite knights, and of course a couple of emplacements. I'd love to see him go for chemistry. We can see that re-wall has come through. Exactly what he needs to do. Really important thing right now is to get his own Janissaries up on top of this wall. Look to try and take control, because if his enemy gets up on here, Demu stealing out his walls, it will mean that these villagers will have no option when it comes to defending, trying to throw down more stone walls. And it looks like that's what he might be going for. Demu now going to be playing the role of the wall thief. 9 hand cannoneers. Take a look at the range on these hand cannoneers. 7.5 tiles of range. They outrange a longbow because they've got 4 base. An extra 1.5 from pyrotechnics. Look at the range. Look at the range on them. And then they get an extra 2 from being up on the wall. And now entering into the base of the Ottoman player, the Fire Lancers look to try and take out all of the Janissaries that are here. They're all packed and clumped so closely together. Needs to make sure he staggers them, but unfortunately didn't have all of his units at the front. Where are his units right now? I've got no idea. Where are Sass's units right now? How is he sitting on only 150 units? Where did they all go? Was it this fight up here that he lost them all and he just hasn't rebuilt yet? Sass, I don't know what went wrong. You've got 2,200 gold a minute. You should have been able to build 44 Janissaries in this time. And now Sass really struggling. The Janissary numbers starting to build. Men-at-Arms also joining the fray. Needs to look to add in a couple of spearmen here. That'll definitely help. But now the Fire Lancers managed to make it onto the back line. He needs to get additional keeps up. And now we start to see those keeps finally coming through. Remember that these guys have got big emplacements on them, so if the Fire Lancers do manage to break it through all the way up towards those keeps, he will be able to deal with it. But you can't help but feel like there was a little bit of an opening there, and unfortunately, Sass he didn't cover it in time. Towards the middle, more battering rams now going to be coming out from Demu here. He's working at a couple of different angles. Fire Lancers completely cleaned up on this top side. The only thing available now is this bottom side. The only thing that's being worked on is this bottom side. Villagers going to get caught out. He's lost about 25, 30 villagers here. You can see that Demu's managed to take out 76 workers so far this game. Now looks to loop around the trading post. See if he can find any more traders. There's plenty of them here. Manages to escape away from that keep. Remember, he's got that Great Bombard Emplacement coming through. We've seen 2 of them come through this game. Must be over here. There it goes. Look at that big boy right there. Absolute chonker of an attack. Boom. Good night. So, I'm liking the defense here from Sass, but now we've got real trouble. More Fire Lancers have broken through. I don't know how they've gotten through. I think they must have come through on this angle. Unfortunately for Sass, this is where it all goes south. This is so difficult because, to me, all it comes... at this point in the late game, the most important thing for Sass is to maintain the integrity of his stone wall. And he hasn't done that. And that means that his trade is threatened. And if his trade is threatened, his game is threatened. Because without the trade, he has no gold. And without gold, he has no Janissaries. For anybody who doesn't know, the Janissary is actually a very efficient unit. For the cost that it has, it's quite efficient against hand cannoneers. It does very well against them. So you can see here, 60 food, 100 gold. Compare that over to the hand cannoneer, which is 120 food, 120 gold. So it's much more expensive. Definitely the hand cannoneer is better, but the Janissary, when in equal resource value, does square up quite well against them. And now you could see with the hand cannoneers and their insane range just picking off everything. Their range is absolutely insane. Look at them pick it off. There's nothing you can do right now. I am the king of the castle, and you, sir, are the dirty rascal. More hand cannoneers coming up here, stealing the wall. Their range is absolutely ludicrous. Just a reminder, 7.5 range. I'll tell you right now, there's no way against the fully upgraded Chinese hand cannoneers on a stone wall. There's no way the Janissaries are beating them. It's too much to ask for. It is way too much to ask for. But more battering rams going to come down. You can see that there's a bit of an opening here. And there's a part of me that thinks maybe Sass didn't really think about how he was going to plan out this base with the stone walls. As the sacred victory is now approaching, you can see Sass managing to clean up on the front side here. He's got knights as well. The main issue he's going to have is how does he get rid of all these hand cannoneers? I've got the high ground, sir. And he looks to try and bait the enemy in. Absolutely obliterating all of the knights on the front line. Sass not paying attention, just losing plenty of them here. Fire Lancers coming in from the top, but look at the hand cannoneers go. No, get back up there. What are you guys doing? No, get back up. What are you guys doing? The Janissaries. Now is the time to do it. Go, Janissaries. Oh, there's a huge mistake from Demu here. I mean, I'm sure he's probably got attention somewhere else. Indeed, you can see him raiding down here. I don't know exactly what happened there, but... Oh, the Great Bombard. Get him, Bombi. Get him. And now on top, the problem is he's within range of the hand cannoneers. The hand cannoneers could fire down on the Great Bombard and just destroy it if they please to. If they please to. If they... Get him, boy. Get him. It's not as strong as Randy, but he's definitely a lot cooler. This is... I feel like we're just role-playing as... Oh, dude, look at that damage. Don't tell me the Great Bombard is not powerful. Now, sure, he's left it a little bit undefended here, and it means it will go down. But that's not the Ottomans' fault. That's not the Ottomans' fault. Come on, Sass, pick it up. Pick it up, I believe. Raid has been cleaned up. Still down 30 villagers at this point. Looks like the stone wall did go down on that east side as well. There's still an avenue into the enemy base at this point. He could look to bring those knights up here. There's so many farms. If he got behind these lines, he could do huge damage. There's an easy way through for him. More Fire Lancers, though, do manage to make their way through. Demu, 191 pop. Sass, 134. It is starting to come to a close here. You can feel it grinding to a halt. Sass trying his best to defend, but Demu obviously relentless with the Fire Lancers. He makes one unit and just ruins the game for his opponent with it. Obviously still got those hand cannoneers with absolute ridiculous range. Redonkulous range, I will even say. 7.5 range. It's ludicrous. The only way that he managed to fall down off that wall is he did a little bit of a Humpty Dumpty. He fell down. He fell down, unintentionally. Upgrades now starting to come through for Demu. Take a look at this. A whole bunch of emplacements. It looks like it's going to be stone emplacements here. So just looking to defend his own wall against any threat of battering rams, potentially. Sorry to give you guys a big pop there. I heard that one in my own ears. I gave you a big battering ram. I've been practicing bees with my boy. He's been watching a lot of Bluey, and he actually said his first Bluey. That was like 2 days ago. It was very, very good. We were watching Bluey. The next episode came on, and they had the little introduction, and at the end they go, Bluey! And right after they said Bluey, he goes, Bluey! It was good enough. I called it a Bluey. Hand cannoneers, though, they're not going to call it a Bluey. Tell you what, those Janissaries evaporated, didn't they? You can see the importance of keeping them in that staggered formation. Just reduces that AoE damage that the Fire Lancers do have on that shot. I guess probably another thing to note is that spears are kind of good here as well. Obviously, they do cost wood, and that's not something that we've got a whole lot of at this point in the game. Fire Lancers once again, and GG gets called. Sass going to be tapping out with Demu victorious. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this casted game, make sure you check out these two creators. I'll leave a link to Demu, I'll leave a link to Sass, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.